I want to make sure that you know how appreciative we are that you're visiting our campus. So many times I hear, oh my God, I didn't know this place exists. So I just want you to know, again, I've been here for just a little over a year, and one thing we're going to do is turn this around, and everybody's going to know Florida Memorial exists.
Always, first off, thank you to Dr. Hardrick, Dr. Ellis for the invite to be here today. I am one of those individuals that hasn't been to FMU, so I really want to take an opportunity to get to know more about you. Two quick things, Alex, if I could, before we get started. Just on the heels, I again invite my young friend here. I started as an intern in airport operations, cut my teeth there. I still like the smell of jet fuel every single day. Pursue your dreams for all the students that may be here in the room. Pursue your dreams, be passionate about it. Choose what you love to do, not what you need to do. And you guys are gonna be awesome.
The master plan vision for FLL would be realized through sensible and gradual development actions over time, while delivering incremental benefits along the way.
So the market, yeah, we've grown phenomenally in the last 5-6 years, probably about to the tune of 57%, somewhat unprecedented for a large hub airport in the United States. I think it's a little bit indicative of what some may characterize as pent-up demand that was here. The airport completed a new runway project about 5-6 years ago, which kind of unlocked the airport and gave it an opportunity to start to endeavor into a number of different areas in terms of growth and attracting airlines. I know at least one of our major partners, John Kirby with Spirit, is here. He'll be on the next panel, and many have already learned that Spirit, not only putting their headquarters here in the Broward County area in Dania Beach, right next to the airport, but continues to plow more and more service into our region, both domestically and internationally. JetBlue, Southwest, and others continue to do so.
About 125,000 people pass by the airport every day. So we just finished last year with a record year, almost 46 million passengers. Half of the people are international passengers, half of them are domestic passengers. For us, it's not just the cultural, the language facilitation, but also the willingness from our elected officials to make it easy for companies and people to visit here and do business here. And if you continue to focus on how do you facilitate that growth, you create that capacity for the market to fill it. What is driving growth at MIA to the tune that the Board of County Commissioners approved a $5 billion CIP is the constant evolution of people wanting to travel, whether it be for business or pleasure, but more often than not, also commerce. E-commerce, goods, services being offered by not just nationally, but internationally. So us as an airport, we recognize that we don't fly the planes, we don't control the planes. Our job is to provide infrastructure and frankly, to get out of the way. So let the airlines, let the federal agents, let the partners do what they do best. Our job and our mission is to continue to provide capacity when the capacity is going to be needed. So what drives us is obviously to facilitate the continued growth. The aviation industry just continues to do well year over year. So e-commerce has become a significant component of the success of this airport. And the fact that it's located within a metropolitan area of Miami-Dade County provides really connectivity to all of our interstates. So the ability to fly in markets overnight, get those packages either into planes to other destinations or into the trucks to be able to deliver to the homes provides really a prime location for those to be there. Oftentimes people think that we just sit back and wait for somebody to show up, knocks on our door. We actually make oftentimes a significant portion, especially for the smart airlines. You make the business model, the business plan for them, and you make it so that they see not just what the profitability is for the passengers, because they're very good at moving passengers, but what the opportunities that the region provides with regards to cargo. And oftentimes that cargo component in the belly of the planes will be the tipping point, if you will, as to whether they choose a particular market or not. on. So it's the consumer is ultimately going to choose. You just have to be able to provide as many options as possible for the consumer. So in order for you to do that, you constantly have to go and pursue the work, and the work is bringing airlines to your airports.
And I think Lester is spot on. The competition is fierce, but it's not necessarily limited to the domestic airports in the United States. We compete with cities in Latin South America, within Asia, within Europe and Canada and others. When an airline is making a huge decision to take a $300 million airplane that needs to fly on the long-haul international case for 10, 12, 14 hours or so, they're analyzing that to the nth degree to see what is going to provide the best margins for them to operate. In addition to the individual calls that both Lester and I make in order to woo airlines, we participate in the best way I always term it is speed dating between airports and airlines. We have conferences many times throughout the year where the largest one of which will have some 300 different airports around the globe meet with about 100 different airlines. Friend John here participates. We were in Australia together last year, and we get 20 minutes to make our first opening business pitch to airlines. Sometimes we're meeting for the first time, just to hopefully get that door cracked open and then follow it up extensively. Hopefully get those calls that says, hey, we're very interested, we want to talk to you about it. It is a really highly competitive market, but it is not limited. For large gateway airports like Lester's and ours, we're not limited to the U.S. for sure.
I always go around telling people that we're the first impression and the last impression, right? And oftentimes, and if you when I get appointed as aviation director, I'll tell you a funny story. Doug Hanks, who's our local reporter, interviews me for about an hour and a half. We walk the entire airport. He knows, tell him my whole story, and the quote that he writes about the next morning is about my pet peeve on the bathrooms. People to this day still talk to me about like, hey, how are the bathrooms? But it's the truth. You get off a plane and you're going to go to the bathroom. If that bathroom is not clean, then we're not doing a good job as an airport, because that is the visual. You walk out, is there lighting in the terminal, right? Is it pretty? Is it new? Is it clean? And when you're leaving, it's the same impression. So we have to excel in the basics. Now today we thrive as an airport, and we oftentimes are the deciding factor whether a particular route is chosen by an airline based on the cargo that's being moved. So cargo continues to play a significant operation. E-commerce, who's going to foreshadow e-commerce, right? So the thing is to be able to change. And how are we preparing for that change? Is that we're not looking within the fence line. We're constantly pursuing additional property.